let's go. Und in dem Sinne würde ich sagen, ich gebe jetzt an eine Person ab, Leute, die auf jeden Fall viel mehr zu Jon Fib zu sagen hat als ich. Und zwar den lieben Jonathan. Deswegen, Bro, ich freue mich auf jeden Fall, was du alles über Jon zu erzählen hast. Und let's go.
Am besten schaust du, wann er da ist. Leute, was geht ab? Endlich mal gute Kameraqualität. Viel besser, so perfekt. Easy. Einen Moment. Erstmal, Leute, ich hoffe, euch geht's gut. Ganz klar. Also im Endeffekt, Leute, ich hole mal ein bisschen aus, weil wie gesagt, Jon Fibonacci braucht noch, Jon Fibonacci, der heißt mit Nachnamen nicht Fibonacci, deswegen Jon braucht noch ganz kurz, deswegen werde ich jetzt die Zeit dafür ein bisschen nutzen und ein bisschen was zu ihm erzählen, wo ich ihn herkenne, was so meine, warum wir ihn überhaupt auf dem Teamcall haben. Ja, es gibt viele Educator, es gibt viele Trader, es gibt viele Networker, vor allem es gibt viele Chairmans. Warum haben wir genau ihn auf den Call geholt? Und manche wissen vielleicht, dass ich im Endeffekt seit ungefähr einem Jahr mittlerweile, Jon glaube ich ohne H-Bro, seit über einem Jahr mittlerweile Smart Money Trader. Und ich habe damals angefangen, erstmal mit Steady, ja, dann habe ich angefangen, Bounceback zu schauen und so. Und das Ding ist, Leute, ich habe damals eine der ersten Sessions, ja, die ich im Bereich Smart Money geschaut habe, war tatsächlich die Power Hour. Okay? Und deswegen droppt mal eine 7 rein, wenn ihr seid, egal welchen Zeitraum, auf den Power Hours von Zachary, Hogan und Jordan morgen am Start seid, weil Leute, da ist brutaler Mehrwert. Also wirklich ohne Witz an der Stelle. Die sind aktuell 4-mal die Woche, Montag, Dienstag, Mittwoch und Freitag immer um 21 Uhr. Und auf diesen Power Hours ist dann ab einem gewissen Zeitpunkt, wie heißt er?
Traders Houston LLC.
Perfekt. Alright. So Leute, Jon ist auch am Start. Auf jeden Fall, auf diesen Power Hours habe ich im Endeffekt ab einem gewissen Zeitpunkt gesehen, dass Jon Fibonacci öfters mal am Start war. Und ab irgendeinem Zeitpunkt habe ich gemerkt, hey, das ist echt eine nice Session. So, die Sessions sind super geil gewesen, aber durch Jon Fibonacci hat das Ganze nochmal einen anderen Flair bekommen. Weil ich bin euch ganz ehrlich, Leute, von der gesamten Education, die wir von IM Mastery Academy aktuell bekommen und jetzt nach einem Jahr Smart Money Trading, kann ich euch ehrlich sagen, dass Jon wahrscheinlich einer der nicht nur talentiertesten, nicht nur das, sondern einer der härtest arbeitenden Educator ist. Er ist noch nicht mal offiziell Educator. Er ist nur bei den Power Hours dabei. Und das Ding ist, was ich extrem an ihm schätze. Okay? Und ihr wisst, das habe ich im Network schon als, wie soll man sagen, als Grundsatz. Aber im Network, im Trading finde ich das genauso geil, wenn Leute kompetent sind. Das bedeutet, wenn sie Plan haben von dem, was sie reden. Wenn sie Ahnung haben von dem Thema, über das sie was beibringen. Und wisst ihr, das Ding ist, wenn Jon Fibonacci redet, obwohl er so sympathisch ist, obwohl er eigentlich ein ganz normaler Typ ist, wie wir alle, merkt man ihm an, dass er echt Plan hat. Ich meine, nach 7 Jahren Trading ist das auch absolut nachvollziehbar, dass man so viel Plan hat. Deswegen schätze ich ihn brutal, weil ich bin euch ehrlich, die letzten, ich glaube, 6 Monate habe ich, glaube ich, von keinem so viel gelernt wie von ihm. Durch die Sessions, die er macht, durch den kleinen Part, den er 4-mal die Woche macht, habe ich unfassbar viel gelernt. Dadurch auch mein Trading wirklich aufs nächste Level bringen können und dadurch im Endeffekt auch einige Profite mehr und einige Verluste verringern können. Deswegen bin ich unglaublich dankbar, dass Jon heute im Endeffekt am Start ist, um uns wirklich Mehrwert zu geben zum Thema Mindset, zum Thema Trade and Build, etc. Deswegen, ich würde es jetzt mal ganz kurz sagen, ich suche ihn mal ganz kurz raus. One moment. Und ich werde jetzt auf Englisch switchen. So guys, I will switch now to English. And Jon, so first of all, thank you that you're attending this call. We are very grateful. Guys, drop a 7 in the chat if you're excited for this call. And I will just give you 1 minute. Yeah. Perfect. So, Jon, you should be the host right now.
Hey.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. And you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Jon. Thank you very much.
Just a quick reminder, Ken, don't forget to give us the host back at the end.
Yeah. Of course. Okay. Awesome. Well, first off, thanks for waiting. I was having some mic issues. I had to restart my computer. Sorry about that. But what's up, guys? How are y'all doing? What is up? So, yes, my name is Jon Fibonacci. Thanks for inviting me to the call. I appreciate it. So, what do you guys want to go over today? You know, we can do really just about anything. I know we did get one question about one of the quotes that I have that was traders trade and builders build and legends do both. So I know we can hold on. I just want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, you guys can see my gold chart, right? Or am I showing the wrong one? It should be right. Okay. So yeah. Whoa, Zoom was really okay, perfect. Yeah, so traders trade builders build and legends do both. So, okay, thank you guys. So what I meant by that is you have to understand that the majority of millionaires, right? The average millionaire has 7 sources of income. Okay, no matter if it's multiple businesses or, dividends, investing, whatever the case is, royalties. I mean, there are tons of different ways to make money, right? And so trading, is one thing, and network marketing is another, right? So you can basically do both, and that's 2 different streams of income. So it all comes back to that analogy that Christian Vargas likes to use. And it's real quick. It's just, if you walk into a room and you see $100 bill on the floor and a $20 bill on the floor, which one are you picking up? And the common answer is both, right? You're going to pick up the $100 bill and the $20 bill, right? Because that's just what makes the most logical sense, right? So why would you limit yourself to a certain number of incomes when you can have many forms of income? And that's kind of the whole point of that. It's like, if you're a trader, then trade. If you're a builder, then build. But if you want to be a rock star, essentially, then why not just do both? You know what I mean? So that's kind of the point um, of what I meant by that. All right. But anyways, yes, I just hopped off the Power Hour session with Zach and Jordan, and we talked a little bit about gold and silver, and just kind of how what we are in right now is a seasonal environment. I'm not sure exactly what you guys know about seasonality and stuff like that. Have you gone? Let me know in the chat if you've been through the sniper course and have seen those type of videos. And I think my Zoom is frozen. That or it's just really laggy. I'm not sure. Yeah, just give me a second here. That or you guys are just blowing up the Zoom, and that's probably why. So just give me a second. I'm gonna cancel Logitech. So I think that's an issue too. Leandro said bounce back, right? I think that's what you said. All right. Well, yeah, Zoom. I don't know if it's my computer or if it's Zoom, but there's like some serious issues going on right now. I don't know if that's because there's 300 of you or not. But I'll just keep it moving. So basically, seasonality, right? Seasonality is based on pretty much a repeating phenomenon, right? So think about the name for a second. Seasonality, right? So what's the root word of that overall word, right? Seasonality. The root word would be season, right? And so when you guys think about the word season, what does that entail, right? Seasons, okay? Winter, spring, summer, fall, stuff like that. So what are repeating phenomenons every year that we see? Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Valentine's Day, Ramadan, Hanukkah, uh, your birthday is every single year, Independence Days for different countries. Each country is going to be different, but you get what I'm saying? Like there's always a repeating phenomenon. Um, so that's essentially what it means. And in Forex, in trading in general, a lot of assets have seasonality. They have seasonal movements. You can call them whatever you want: seasonal tendencies, seasonal averages, and things of that nature. So the what I'm trying to get at is, if you haven't seen the seasonality video in the sniper course, then you should probably watch that. But if you have seen it, then you would already know that Valentine's Day is every single February something. I think it's 28th or the 14th, something like that. I'm probably thinking of someone's birthday or something. Okay, so someone said the 14th. All right, perfect. So with or a lot of you said the 14th. Okay, appreciate that. I'm learning new things as well. All right, so thanks for that. So, right, when everyone thinks about Valentine's Day or even New Year's and Christmas, you could kind of put all three together, because what happens, and it's really more focused on Valentine's Day, but what happens for Valentine's Day, right? People go out, they get flowers, they get chocolate, they get, they go on dates and stuff like that. But the more expensive, oh my God, someone said gold chains, LOL, right? Necklaces, they get, for women, they have like rings, they have watches, they have earrings, drip, essentially, right? Would be drip. Okay. And so we're not focused on like the cheap jewelry, like the little $40 watch, $50 watch, stuff like that. We're talking about like engagement rings. We're talking about actual diamonds and stuff like that. And so to cut right to the chase, gold and silver, right? Because a lot of jewelry is made, if you get it legit, would be gold and silver. So you have to think about the overall demand for gold and silver around February of every single year, right? Because Valentine's Day doesn't change. It's not like Valentine's is February this year and then March the next year, or in December the following year, right? Like that's not how it works. It's the same day every year, right? So when you think about the overall picture, then you'll see that repeating phenomenon almost every single year for both gold and for silver. And so this is the fifth year in a row that we've been able to anticipate, something like this. And this is what the the blue box on my screen is. It is essentially measuring from November up until March. And so it's blue to represent that we're in a potential bullish environment and that I should be looking for buying opportunities. All right. And that's essentially the purpose behind that. So what I also want you to understand too is that when we go live and we trade, the sessions and things like that, and when I see a lot of your charts, because you guys post charts, you tag me in it, I see it. A lot of the trading that people do in the IM Academy is very, very small time frame. It's 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, stuff like that. And it's very rarely on the daily, let alone the monthly or weekly and stuff like that. And so I want you to understand that the big money, okay, is in big time frames. Now you can make, you can do well in small time frames. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like, I mean, take this for example. You could have 10 trades, okay, at 100 pips each, right? And so you made 1,000 pips with 10 trades, and that's fine. But what's the difference between that and taking one trade for 1,000 pips? I know it sounds absurd, 1,000 pip trade, but it's not. I call one almost every single year. And that's not just on gold and silver, but other commodities like coffee. We've done a currency once or twice, but it's easier, right? Because think about the work involved with 10 trades. And yes, you can trade coffee. If you have, I'll have to find the specific day. Actually, it's on my YouTube video. Go to, here, let me drop you my YouTube really quick. We're not on Go Live, so I'm allowed to do stuff like this. YouTube.com/Jon Fibonacci. There's a video on there called Best Trade Ever Called for IM, ? And I talk about it. So yes. Actually, you know what? We can pull that up right now since you brought it up. Let me just go ahead and do that real quick. I believe it was, yep, it was this right here. Not with the risk reward, but it was this right here. I called this out. There was a down candle, up move. We talked about it on the 7th, and it really didn't take off until the 15th and really just blew up. Coffee went from 97 to 130 in like a month and a half or 2 months. And yeah, that was called out. Okay, that was probably the best trade I've ever called on the actual platform. Yes. So I mean, this is a daily time frame, guys. This isn't a 5-minute chart. This is a daily. Okay, so you have to understand. Yeah, it's going to take 2 months to pan out, but these are some beautiful, like this trade is fat. This isn't a 100 pip trade, guys. This is massive, massive gains. Okay, so you have to realize big money is on big time frames. Would you rather take 10 trades at 100 pips or one trade at 1,000 pips? Now, if you ask me, I would rather take one trade at 1,000. But why is that if it's the same amount? Because you have to realize you have to do a lot of work for 10 trades. You got to find an opportunity, entry, stop loss, things like that. You got to check your chart every couple of hours to make sure that you're managing the trade correctly. And now you're anticipating news and, stuff like that. And it's a lot more work than it is to find one trade. You see what I'm saying? So that's where it kind of comes down to efficiency, using your time wisely. You know what I mean? So, now they don't happen often. I'm not saying you can catch 1,000 pip trade once a month. That's not how it works. But my mentors, okay, one of my mentors is Larry Williams. All right, this is the way that he trades. He trades large time frame and trades these seasonal swings, and that's where the big money is at. Some of the biggest gains I've ever had in my career. Actually, the top like 5 trades I've ever taken were trades like this, where I took a trade and held it for months. And luckily they went in my direction. But yes, that's what grew my account more than anything else. I'm talking about trades that you could put all your wins together and that would still not amount to like one trade like this. And I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. Think about the leverage from holding trades that do this. And yes, it works for Forex as well. I'm not just saying, yeah, it happens on commodities and stuff like that. It happens in Forex as well. It's absolutely true. Now it kind of depends on what you're looking at. If you want to study the majors or certain cross pairs and stuff like that, but that's going to take. There's a lot that goes into stuff like that. And the reason why I love doing stuff like this, even though it takes a long time and I don't really have the patience for this a lot, is that you have to realize, guys, like we trade currencies, right? Like we're trading GBP USD or Euro USD, and you guys know what that is. But this is actually something real. You know what I mean? Like it's a real currency. It's something that it's tangible in real life. You know what I mean? And so when you start looking at these macro perspectives, these macro trades, now you're getting into like economics. You're getting into interest rates or interest rate differentials. You're getting into seasonality, and you're really seeing how the world actually works. How the world actually operates. So now you're not really becoming a trader. You're now dipping your toes into becoming an economist. You know what I mean? And I don't know about you, but I enjoy that type of stuff. All right. I don't mind day trading and stuff like that, but long-term trading, I promise, is where the biggest gains are at in terms of single trades. Okay. Are there commissions I have to pay when I hold my trades that long? If you're with like a Forex broker or something like that, then yeah, you'll have swap every Friday, and bigger swap on Wednesdays, or well, swap every day, but bigger swap every Wednesday. That's like the weekly charge or whatever. So yes, but you can always ask your broker as well. But honestly, the gains from stuff like this will make your swap look like nothing. Like, bro, I'm telling you, if you did the math on some of these and then you looked at swap, you would be like, this is nothing. It'd be like less than 1% of your profit. Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Unless you hold like Dow Jones or something for a whole year, then yeah, swap's going to eat you up. But that's really dependent upon like your broker and your lot size and stuff like that. So it kind of just depends. But yeah, trading is not just 5-minute time frames and 1 hour time frames and taking a trade during London and closing out in 3 hours. Like that's trading, but that's a very small piece to the larger puzzle. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it kind of just depends. But so that's my take on seasonality. I mean, it's I could talk about it forever, and it's really just something that you just have to study. You know what I mean? And I've introduced it to you. Let me go back to the metals real quick. Like for gold and silver, I've already introduced it to you. But if you want to find out more, then you're gonna have to do a little bit more research as far as like, well, what should I be looking for in March? What should I be looking at in February, in April, or December, and stuff like that? Different months mean certain things for different assets. Say, for example, uh, one of we'll go back to coffee, right? So coffee, for example, right? Do more people buy coffee in the winter or in the summer? You see what I mean? And it's like, well, if it's cold outside, they're going to buy more coffee in the winter, right? So what happens to the price of coffee in the winter? Probably goes up. I don't know. That's not something I've studied, but I'm just giving you an example. I'm throwing out an example for you. Or say cattle, right? Like cows and hogs and stuff like that, or pigs or whatever, right? So same thing in the winter and the summer, right? What happens during the summer? People barbecue, you know? So don't you think more cows and pigs get slaughtered in the summer than they do in the winter? I know some of the vegans right now are probably like going, or pissed off at me because I'm talking about that, but that's the reality of it. It doesn't matter if you're a vegan or not. That's the reality of how the world works. All right, and the market doesn't care if you're vegan or not. So, sorry, not trying to offend any vegans out there, but that's what it is. Okay, or Paul, that's a good example. Thanksgiving, you've got turkeys. Exactly, that's the stuff I'm talking about. So, and that works for bacon and all that stuff. Um, that's why you trade fiber. Why do you trade British pound? Like specifically, like what's the reasoning for British pound? I mean, it has seasonals, but like when I look for trades, I don't just look at one currency. I look at like all of them. So I just find the one that has the best opportunity and go from there. So it's just kind of what I do. But um yeah. Anyways. So yes. That I mean I don't want to just talk about seasonality the whole time. I do want to, switch it up and talk about other things or maybe show you some previous trades or whatever you guys want to do. So yeah, I'll go ahead and open it up to you guys for questions. What do you guys have for me? I know I get questions every single day on Instagram, private messages and things like that. But since there's like 300 or 200 and some change of you, then it would make sense to let everyone know at once versus trying to answer your question, one at a time. Because I wake up in the afternoon and I've got a lot of messages. It takes time for me to sit there and get back to you guys. So, uh, yeah. So give me just 1 second while the Zoom actually loads. So, I don't know why my computer's like doing this. I've never had this happen before. So something about me. I don't really care for talking about me. I've been trading. March will be my 7th full year of trading, heading into my 7th year. So I got started in early 2014. I was in the U.S. Navy at the time, and wanted to invest my money, learn how to trade, and that was it. And I've been doing it ever since. Do you only trade long term? No, 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 no. I day trade a lot, but I'm saying like I try to give more emphasis to long term trading because that's where the big gains are at. And a lot of people, they take a lot of losses on small time frames, and I'm just like, bro, you can change your time frame with one click of a button. You know what I mean? And so, and a big problem with that is instant gratification. Like, oh, I want to take a trade and I want to be profitable within the next hour. It's like, well, okay, how many pips are you really going to catch in 1 hour, fam? Like, You know what I mean? So, what was my biggest breakthrough? My biggest breakthrough was many, many years ago. It was around 2015, 2016 is when I learned that the markets were manipulated. And I went back, like, let me show you USD CAD really quick, because I know some of you probably don't want to hear me talk the whole time. You want to see me actually mark up some charts and stuff. This is what I was anticipating yesterday for USD CAD. This right here, I was expecting it to come down to this level and then reverse, but we actually didn't get that until later today. So I was off by a day. It happens. But when you actually understand that the markets are manipulated for stop losses, then it, like, okay, like when you first hear about it, like, oh yeah, double tops, double bottoms, they get ran for stops. It's like, okay, well, that makes sense, but let me understand it. And when you really sit down in front of the charts and turn your phone off, put the distractions away and really sit down in front of the charts and look at it and study it to understand it, meaning that you're going through examples day in and day out, and you start seeing it play out. Like, this is what happened for me. I used to always study hindsight, right? What happened in the past? What happened in the past? Then it got to, all right, what's going to happen right now? And then it got to, okay, what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen on Thursday? What's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next month? And when you start predicting price a month in advance, I mean, I can't even explain like how the breakthrough that comes from doing that. Going from the past to the present and then predicting future price. It's like insane. I'm trying not to curse because I'm trying to be respectful, but it's effing awesome. Okay. So yeah, my biggest breakthrough was learning that. And that's one of the reasons why I predicted that this would happen here, because this is a double bottom right here, you know? And so if traders have their stop losses there, what do you think happened today? They got knocked out, right? Right here. They got knocked out. And guess what? That created the low of the day, right? And then my original take profit created this is like a triple top kind of, and that got swept here. So today specifically was the low of the day and the high of the day. And it doesn't get better than that. Show me. Show me low of the day and high of the day. Show me something better than that. I'll pay. Seriously, I'll pay for you to show me something better than that, because I'm still learning too. Yeah, I've been doing this almost 7 years, but I'm still a student. I'll always be a student. But you show me something better than that. Okay? Uh, we'll back up for a second. My biggest mistake currently is not holding trades long enough. I'll plan on holding a trade for 3 days, and I'll get out after a day and a half. Because I'm impatient. I see the gains, and I'm just like, I'm gonna lock it in. And then the next day, the price goes my direction again, and I'm missing out on profits. That's my biggest mistake from there. So there it is. My greatest learning from 2020. About what though? Like about myself or about other people? About network marketing? About like what about 2020? Like for me, there's different. I learned a lot. It just kind of depends. But I guess personally, like what I learned in 2020 about myself is that I am an impatient person. I always thought like, yeah, I'm patient. And then I looked at my trading and I was like, wait a minute, maybe I'm not. That was really more 2019. It still did happen a little bit in 2020, so I'm still working on it. But I guess that would be one thing. One thing about network marketing, I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but it is what it is. That in network marketing, and this goes for regular people too, is that a lot of people don't live up to the things that they say that they're going to do. You know, like I know people who are like, yeah, I'm going to run it up to chairman, and then don't host any opportunity calls, don't hop on any Zoom calls, and barely get on Go Live. And it's like, well, how are you going to run it up to chairman if all you do is sleep all day? You know what I mean? So it's like, what's really going on here? So I don't want to come on here and talk a lot of trash, but I'm just saying, like, you realize that it's a very small amount of people that actually live up to, that do the things that they say that they're going to do. I realized that a lot in 2020, because I mean, you wouldn't believe how many people like hit me up to learn how to trade or to do certain things, and a lot of people simply just don't follow through. Don't get me wrong though, like people do follow through, but it's just the percentage of people that actually follow through is very small, and I don't really like that. I don't really care for that. Um, the most annoying thing is the plagiarism, I would say. You know, I see Zoom calls that people just copy myself, or they copy someone from Trade House and act like they own it, and just try to get some clout and stuff like that. And that really kind of pisses me off, you know, that you're trying to make a name for yourself by using someone else's content, and that really again, I'm trying not to curse, I'm trying to be professional. I can't respect that. I have very, very little respect for people that do that, and I wish I could call people out, but I can't because I'll get in trouble. But anyways, what do you think about Fibonacci combined W triangle pattern? I don't even know. I don't even know. What's my opinion on crypto? Too volatile for me. I know people who have crypto and they like it, but crypto is one of those things that it starts popping off, and then it goes mainstream, and everyone's buying it as it's already made its move. So I think crypto's a mess. I don't trade it. Probably never will trade it, and I just don't really care for it. But if you've got it, hey, you've got it, then good for you. You know what I mean? Okay. What is the most important hint that you can give a new trader? Well, just kind of like I said earlier, don't rush the process. Don't rush the learning process. You know, take your time. Um, Realize that it will take you a long time to actually get the information to the point that you will be able to predict price on a consistent basis. It took me a long time. All right. And I'm just an average guy. I don't believe I have some insane IQ, because I don't. Trust me. If you saw some of the women I dated in the past, you'd be like, yeah, that guy's an idiot. So trust me, you know, I don't have an above average IQ. I think it might be slightly above average at best, but it's just what separates me from a lot of people is that I outwork everyone. Everyone. I'll be on charts before you wake up, and I'll be on charts after you go to sleep. So, and that's not an ego thing. That's just what I truly believe. Um, I don't. There are very few people who can outwork me when it comes to like technical analysis. So that's it right there. Um, so yeah, just enjoy the process and give it time. What's your number one tip to understand and trade smart money? Uh, I would start with the manipulation. I think my headset's gonna go out, but that's fine. The One of the biggest things is the manipulation. You know, understanding equal highs, equal lows, and stuff like that. And when you start from there, you can start getting into like correlations. You know, like Euro USD, British pound, and understanding how to find a strong currency and how to find a weak currency, and going from there. And that's like the basis. I mean, it branches off into other things like uh, the imbalances, or 80s and 20s and 50s, and pretty much everything else, mitigation and stuff like that. So, but that's where I would start, is the actual manipulation. So we Germans curse a lot, so go for it. Awesome. Um, how did you learn to predict price a month in advance? It started with seasonality. I can already tell you what January or February and March are going to do in 2022 and in 2023. and in 2024, and pretty much every year after that, because it's a seasonal pattern. Outside of that, could be open interest as well. If open interest is going to drop, then like drop heavily, then that's, I mean, we called the market bottoms like twice this year for indices. So that would be S&P 500, Dow Jones, stuff like that, which you guys probably know as US 30, SPX 500, and whatever, NAS 100, I think. And that's what I mean by that. You know, oh, we'll be bullish for the next couple of months, and then it pans out that way. I mean, that's really about it. What do you think about forcing a specific time to trade, or how would you set your daily market routine? So that depends on you. That depends on your well, number one, what type of trader you are. You know, are you a day trader? Are you a scalper? Are you a position trader? Are you a swing trader? That I can't tell you. I don't know you. I know me, but I don't know you. So when you figure out what type of trader you are and you know your schedule, then you frame that around your schedule. If you sleep during London and you wake up for New York, well, trade New York then. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know your routine. Everyone's different. There's, you know, how many people do we have on this call? A lot. Like, I can't, you know, everyone has their own schedule. You know what I mean? And my computer's like still goofing up. Just give me a second. Yeah, 200. Yeah, there's 289 of you. So yes, it would 289 different trade plans. Okay, so that's really about it for that one. Biggest learning in personal development and trading. So in personal development, I don't really know. I've been working on leadership the last year and some change, just being a more professional person and figuring out ways to actually lead people, you know, teams and stuff like that. So John C. Maxwell, you know, that's personal development. That's more leadership than personal development, but personal development specifically for trading, I would go with Mark Douglas. That's on my Instagram as well. You know, trading in the zone, disciplined trader, the complete trader, stuff like that, and all of that. So yes, that's what I would go to. At the beginning, I thought you were related with Fibs. No. Fib. I wear Fib as a name because Leonardo Fibonacci of Pisa, who basically founded the Fibonacci sequence, I don't think he was given enough credit throughout history. So I want to give him credit. So I wear his name kind of like a jersey, like a soccer jersey or something. But also, I believe the Fibonacci sequence, the Fibonacci spiral that's found in nature is, I believe it to be sort of like a footprint of an artist, and that artist would be God, essentially. So I believe that, you know, God created everything and all of that. So that's kind of another reason. And the third reason is because I use Fibonacci retracements. So go figure, right? But there it is. So what books do I recommend? That's on my Instagram. There's kind of too many to name. And so you just have to go from there. And it's in the sniper course as well. There's different videos that I do give book recommendations. Why did I stop trading binary options? Because a lot of reasons. I trash binary options a lot. I'm not really supposed to, because the company, you know, trades binary. I can get in kind of trouble for doing that. I just personally don't trade binary anymore. The risk reward is more favorable in Forex and in futures and in everything else except binary. So that alone right there is enough to get me to stop trading binary. I'm risking what, $10 to make $7.50 or $8. Like that just, I can't sit right with that. I just can't do it. Out of the elements you use when analyzing the chart, what's the most important thing for you that has to just be right before you considering taking a trade? Number one is risk management. when it comes to technical analysis, I would say time and price. Time and price. So if I'm looking at, like, let's say Euro USD, for example, then I would need to make sure that I'm in either the London session or New York overlap, depending. So it kind of just depends. 2 and 7. Let me just change this to 8, like that. Okay, perfect. So if you guys didn't already know, I do have an indicator on TradingView. It's called Jon Fibs London and New York Open. All you have to do is search Jon, Jon, and you'll find it. This is one of the ways that helps keep me in alignment. There are other sessions indicators, but I have a specific purpose for this indicator. But yes, if I'm trading like Euro USD or GBP USD, then I need to be within the London session or sometimes the New York overlap in order for me to take a trade. So time and price would be a huge one. Favorite smart money concept? There is really no favorite concept. They're all equally powerful. But I guess if I had to say, it would be the divergence between correlated assets. So there you go. Let me just keep scrolling real quick. So just stand by. What do you think about leverage stocks? I don't really have an opinion. I don't trade stocks on margin. If you're going to trade stocks on margin, you might as well just trade options. It's a little bit more riskier, but probably better rewards too. So there you go. What is your best advice on managing emotions while trading besides reading Mark Douglas? I mean, you got to realize you learn from people who have what you want. You learn from the experts. You learn from the people who have real results. And I know Mark Douglas has them or had them. Rest in peace. Okay. And he taught so many people how to manage their emotions and think objectively and stuff like that. So it would be a disservice for me to say, well, do something else instead, because he is the best at what he does when it comes to psychology of the markets. So for me to tell you anything different, it would be a disservice. Emotions can be difficult to manage. You know, we're humans, we have emotions, but you have to learn to think objectively. You have to learn to read the market and not read your P&L. You know, if the market's going higher and your P&L is going lower because you shorted, you know, don't focus on your P&L. Don't look at the bottom right of the screen where your money is at on MT4. Look at the market and let the market tell you what it wants to do, and then from there you can make an educated decision on what to do with your trade. But I mean, I have emotions too. You don't think I get slightly excited when I have a badass trade? Like, I don't care what anyone says. No one I believe is truly emotionless. Because if you are emotionless, that's actually a disease. Like that's clinical. I forgot what the word is, but that's a real life problem. You know what I mean? So it's just about managing them in a way that doesn't affect your trading to the point where you won't be a profitable trader. So you're just gonna have to go from there and take what you want from that. What do you expect from the S&P long term? Markets are almost always bullish. What are your biggest dreams? I don't know. Just making more badass traders. I definitely enjoy doing that. I just don't enjoy when people learn from me and then go off and start their own company. That pisses me off. But that's just the price I pay, you know. Can I learn future movement of the market from studying past movements? Yes. And how do I study the past movements the best way? Just mark up different parts, or is there a better way? Well, I like you can't be taught experience. You know what I mean? If someone's been trading for a year and another person who's been trading for 6 months, the person who's been trading a year is always going to have more experience than the person who's been trading 6 months. And that's never going to change. So it's just starting and then being consistent. It's just going to give you more experience and more data to work with, which in turn would give you more back testing. When I started and I had TradingView, because I've had TradingView for over 5 years. Okay. And where is it at? There's like a bar replay, right? The bar replay that hasn't been around for that long. You could utilize a bar replay if you want, maybe rewind the chart, mark some things up, and maybe hit the bar replay. Maybe that'll help. I personally don't do that only because I'm not I never used it. You know what I mean? And I've never done it that way, so I just don't see myself doing that. But I don't know who Michael M. Nims is. I don't know who that is. And I don't know how anyone else trades. I just know that I know the way that I trade. Oh, yeah, sorry. P&L is your profit loss. Yeah. Sorry if I confused you earlier. Yeah. If you could start trading again, what would you do different in order to get faster understanding of the markets? I wouldn't change a thing. The way that I did it, I wouldn't have changed the thing. So what I did when I was in the Navy, when I was in the military, the US military, I would get off of work in the afternoon, and then I would have like 5, 6, 7 hours before I had to go to sleep to wake up for the next day. So I decided to dedicate that time to two different things. One of them was video games, and the other was studying markets. And so what I would do is like flip between both. Like I'd play a little bit of Call of Duty and take a break, get on some charts. After about an hour or two of charts, I'd get back on like Overwatch or Halo or something like that, and kind of just keep myself busy that way, where I'm having fun, but I'm also learning how to trade versus just being on the charts for like 8 hours straight. I don't think that would be very beneficial because we have attention spans, and this is why I don't do calls for more than an hour or an hour and a half, because you know after the 1 hour mark, people start leaving, people start getting on their phone and on Instagram and shit like that. So it's just that's the way that I did it. I wouldn't change a thing if I had to do it again. I would just do the same process. So how did you meet Zachary Hogan? I actually didn't meet Zach. This is what happened, okay, and this is the short story. I was on Facebook and Instagram, being a trader well before anything else. Like I didn't even know what Trade House was, you know. But I was consistent. I made YouTube videos. I would call trades on my Facebook, like that coffee trade I showed you. Where was it? This one? Right here. Like stuff like this. I would call that on Facebook. Like I would just go on Facebook. I'd get like 3 likes. I'd be like, yeah, gold and silver is going to rally for the next 2 months. And then there'd be this explosive move. And it's like nobody paid attention. But eventually people started paying attention. And that's when Daniel, 8-inch Wick, he found me on social media. And then I added Jordan Morgan as a friend as well on Facebook. And then they just watched me for a few months. And they saw me, and I'm assuming that they thought, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. Let's invite him. So I just went from there. It was like 6 months. Yeah, it was like a few months, like 5, 6, 7 months before they like actually reached out to me and were like, hey, like we're a trade house. Do you plan, like you want to join Trade House and, just trade and teach people how to trade? And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And then within a month, no, within 2 months, I was on Go Live with Rock Coomer. And then I think it was at the end of 2019, I got put on with Zach and Jordan. So, yeah. I mean, and that's kind of that should just also be a little bit of motivation to you guys as well. For some people who may only have like 100 followers on Instagram and stuff like that. I had 250 2 years ago. I had 250 followers on Instagram. Today I'm almost at 7,000. And that's only because of Trade House. And that's only because I was consistent with what I did. And that was it. So, if you're a business owner, like maybe you do other things, like, I don't know, maybe you sell CBD, or if I don't know what you guys do, but, or maybe you have a t-shirt business or something, just be consistent. YouTube, same thing. I used to get three views on my YouTube, 4 views on my YouTube. And now I've got 2,200 subscribers. It's just about being consistent, but yeah, I wouldn't be anything if it weren't for the platform. And, they're the ones that put me on. So, all right, we'll go through a couple more questions, and then see kind of what we want to do from there. But do you plan your day with timestamps, or do you just have a list of things you want to do? Well, my trading week starts on Sunday, so it kind of just starts with like, what's the news this week? I need to anticipate what's going to happen, or when I don't want to be trading. I don't want to be trading during news sometimes, so I just want to be aware of that. And then it starts with what are you trading, and then going from there. Like me, I like indices, so I need to be aware of what New York might do, and then I can place orders around that if I'm not going to be up for New York, which is generally most of the time. So there it is. But I just wake up and just do whatever. I mean, I want to make sure that I at least read every day. Do I read every day? No, but I do my best, to make sure I do pick up a book and read some, work out a little bit, drink water, stuff like that. But ultimately, I don't have like a strict, just I do this and this and this every single day. I don't do that. I mean, sometimes I do stuff like this where it's like, hey, fam, you want to do a call? Sure, let's hop on Zoom. Like whatever. Fridays, I usually go over to my friend's house. Uh, I have some friends here in Houston. I go over there, go swimming, smoke cigars, play chess, stuff like that. So this is the typical day for that, But hey, I was invited for Friday, and so here we are, and there it is. So someone asked, which broker do you use for trading futures? I can't recommend brokers, but what I can tell you to do is consider trading with a broker that's regulated. That's what I would recommend doing, is consider someone who's regulated. Do you know where I can find your seasonality videos? Yes. Bounce back sniper course. And you have to have bounce back for that. So there it is. Someone posted the link. So I guess it's in phase 3. There you go. Don't you think news can help confirm your setup, or have you realized that most of the time when big news hits, we should leave the market alone? News is the excuse. So news is going to run, stops, just like I showed. Actually, you know what? Y'all know what time today? Was there news today? It was some type of news today, wasn't it? I forgot when it was. Let me just see. So you had these equal lows right there that got swept, and you had a high right here, which got swept over here. Kind of similar to USD CAD, right? Same thing where it went lower, grabbed stops, went higher, took liquidity, and then started trading softer from that. So it just kind of depends. But if you go and you study like small time frames of what the news does, then yeah, it can help you form a trade, or it can just jump straight to your stop loss and then skip your stop loss and slip you. And then now you lost more than what you wanted to. So it just kind of depends. So it could be beneficial, but it could also hurt you as well. So it just depends. But so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. A lot of my work is in the bounce back sniper course. A lot of my work is also day to day with Zach and Jordan on the power hour sessions. There's a lot of favorited sessions. There's a lot of sessions that we renamed because there are still lessons that I give. And this is what I don't really talk about a lot too. I kind of just hope people would catch on. But your education doesn't just stop from watching the sniper course. Like we have random lessons all the time. I did a lesson like 2 weeks ago on how to basically, like when you take a losing trade, how to get it back without revenge trading, you know? And I went over the trade that I took on the S&P. I got clapped in London, but I made it back in New York, and just random lessons like that we do on Power Hour. So yeah, your education doesn't stop with the sniper course. It continues on, through the live sessions and on Bounce Back London Open as well. I do lessons here and there sometimes too. So yeah, but yeah. So I'll give you guys like 2, maybe 3 more minutes, just a little last window for any last minute questions that you may have before we shut it. I'll pass it back to the guys here and we'll kind of just go from there. Someone asked, what is the meaning when a high or low gets swept later in the day? So if it's later in the day, like say here, for example, so you had New York here. Really? Yeah, New York right here. And the first thing it does is runs higher and then slams lower, right? So it slammed lower first to grab the stop losses. Okay. Now for smart money who bought down in here, they need to take profit, right? So where are they going to take profit at? Where they're going to distribute where the opposite liquidity lies. So if there was liquidity to the downside, then they're going to distribute at liquidity to the upside. So where would that be? Above these highs right here and above this high right here. And how do you know that? I mean, look at the price action. What happens when the market reached this area? Did the market not retrace? So was there not some profit taking here? I mean, you tell me. And then liquidity met up here. Did the market not retrace? Was there not profit taking up there? So the market just jumps from liquidity to liquidity. It just depends. Where's the liquidity at? It's below lows and above highs. And it gets a little bit more complex than that, but I mean, that's where it's at. I'll give you one more gem that you could study today, if you want to, or this weekend. I'm a big fan of 80s and 20s. And it has nothing to do with the 80-20 principle. I know some of you might know what that is, but that has like the 80s, 20s, and 50s has nothing to do with the 80-20 principle. Okay. But I'll give it a quick example just because I'm seeing it right now. So here's a 90 level, right? Because you have 89, 80, 89, 90, and then you have 90. So you have a whole number here, right? And just like I told you, 80s and 20s, right? So you can mark up a 20 level right here. You see that? And all it is 90, 20. That's it. No math, no indicator, no add this, subtract that, and divide it by this and multiply, and none of that, okay? I'm not in college anymore. I'm not in high school anymore. We're done with that, okay? And when you realize liquidity above the market, okay, you can tailor it to 80s and 20 levels. And you see how the market almost made a high. It went to 25. It went a little bit higher, but ultimately that's where the distribution occurred, 80s and 20s. And you can backtest that. And how do you do that? Well, just take the horizontal line and draw it at every 80 and 20 level. 80, 20, 80, 20, 80, 20, and that's it. That's all you got to do right there. Draw some horizontal lines and then go out and look at your chart. And you can see it's not going to be every single time, but in certain cases, yeah, this stuff creates highs and lows, depending, of course, certain conditions. But you see that right there too. Look at that. You see what I mean? So you have to have context, of course. So don't forget that with everything, you have to have context, but this is one of the many tools that I like to use. And so, yeah, it happened right there, distribution. So great question. And And these are the last two, and then we'll shut it down. Have you already achieved the goals you had before trading? I didn't have any goals before trading. I was like 19 years old. I was broke and I had no ambitions, no goals. And trading changed everything. So, but yeah, uh, one of my dreams in the military was to leave the military and trade full time. So that came true. But that was about it. Uh, when when would you call a trader profitable? When your account is higher than what it was. When your account is higher than what it was, that's profitability. If you made 5% in a year, to me, that's really, really, really low, but you're still a profitable trader. There's a difference between being a profitable trader and trading for a living and trading for an income. Way two different things. So it just depends. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it. It's pretty much been right about at an hour. So again, I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you to the host who invited me on here. It's always nice to speak to traders who maybe I don't speak to as often. You guys have a pretty dope team out there, so congrats to you guys. There was almost 300 of you, so that's actually one of my bigger Zooms. You'd be surprised when I used to host my own, I'd get like maybe 50, 75, stuff like that. So you guys are awesome for having almost 300 of you here. We're down to about 265, but still that's the majority. So a lot of you were here the whole time and asking questions and really listening to me. I know I ranted a little bit, but it happens. Okay. It's all in good fun and in good faith. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it back over to the host. Just give me a second because my computer is really slow
No problem.
at the moment.
I already gave the
So,
host back to me.
but I got you.
Perfect. So thank you, John, for your time.
How do I? Oh Lord, I got to figure out how to do it.
I'm already the host. No problem.
Wait. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Wait. I think it's a right click, right?
Yeah.
If I like right
I'm
click and
already
make
the
you
host, bro.
host.
It's no problem. I took the host back.